Hey, ladies and gentlemen. I was running late. Sorry. I apologize to everybody. I don't know. I was sitting here just thinking. I was just thinking. I apologize for running late, you guys. Anyway, how are all my funky junk friends doing today? I hope you guys are having a great day and all that kind of fun jazz. If you're hopping on, please make sure you say hello so I know that you're here. Hi, Jeanette. How are you doing, friend? How are you doing? So, anyway, let's put a little banner up here. To remind you to take 5 and to join our Take 5 group. We have these fun little events every Wednesday and Friday. So make sure you check that out. Hey, Debbie. Hello. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you. Hey, Miss Melanie. How are you? So anyway, make sure you're checking everybody out over on Take 5. Up after me will be Miss Mary from the Painted Peach. And let's just get started on some stuff. You guys, fun things are coming. Fun things are coming with a lot of different companies and things like that. Hey, Jeannie, we've got new stencils coming out with Essential Stencil. We have some amazing rice papers that are going to be dropping the 27th of December from Decoupage Central. So make sure you take a minute to pay attention to that on the 27th. I will be putting on my page some sneak peeks at some of that. But in the meantime, not only does she have rice papers on there, but she also has printables on there. My link is in my description for Decoupage Central. If you use my link, what that does is just gives me a little bit of a commission back. Hey, Miss Mary, just so that I can help bring you things. It's not a discount code or anything like that. But she does have some printables that you can print out on rice paper if you want to. This I just printed out on a little bit heavy paper on my printer. But this right here is a free printable that's over on Decoupage Central right now. You just go over there, use my link, go over, look up under shop, look under printables, and all her printables will come up. They're around $1.99 a piece, but you'll have them and you'll have them forever. But this particular one is free, getting ready for Valentine's Day. Now, is she not adorable or what? I absolutely love her. So make sure you go check that out. If you're wanting to start getting into your Valentines and your pretty things like that. So I know it's kind of weird. I have a Christmas shirt on and we're going to do this Valentine. But I also wanted to show you this beautiful piece of rice paper that is also available over there. We're probably going to do something with it too. Because I want to do both. Now, Essential Stencil last year had some really cool Valentine stencils, and I'm going to use this word amore. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the free printable today, and I'm going to put amore at the top. Okay, and this kind of at the bottom. And if we have time, we'll jump over and do this one also. All right. So, I wanted to show you guys from last Wednesday. I did finish this up right here with this napkin. Excuse me. Remember we had put red and stuff around here? Well, I end up using, oh my goodness, you guys. Excuse me. My Valspar antiquing glaze over the whole thing. And see how it just kind of antiqued it up and made it look old and all that. Julie says, bad holiday this year for me. Lost my, oh. Julie, I am so sorry. We are all thinking of you. I am so sorry. Miss Donna, it came from Decoupage Central. The link is in my description. If you use my link, that helps me out just a little bit. But anyway, I took this and I put the Valspar antiquing glaze over the top, and it just kind of made it all blend together. Because remember, I put my napkin a little bit too far this direction, and so I had a lot of white here and not very much there. But I think that ended up turning out really cute. We did that the other day, and on Wednesday, and we also did the gingerbread round. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? And I don't think I've taken pictures of it. We've all, oh, and I just dropped him. We'll just let him stay down there on the ground. So anyway, So let's get started on this. So what I'm going to do is I have a natural background here. Let's put this up so you can just see the table right here. And I have this still using up stuff from the past. This is from Dollar Tree, probably 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, but we're going to get all this stuff used up eventually, right? So I'm going to put this down here towards the bottom. I think we're going to use a little bit of salt wash. All right, I'm not positive yet, but I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. And then I was going to put this amore at the top with all the squigglies and stuff, just to kind of make a fun sign. Or we could go up and do it down here. I think I'm going to do it this way, but we shall see. Hey, 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 there's my friend Melissa from Junk and Craft Treasures, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome, Miss Donna. I know. Big hugs, Julie. Big hugs. So let's get started. Now, you guys, if you know me, you know I like a ripped edge. Now, this print has a ripped edge on it. But we're going to rip it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my board first. All right. And then what I think I might do, I don't know if I am or not, you guys. I keep changing my mind here, if I want to use salt wash or not. Let's get started and we'll go from there. I can't decide. All right, so now when you rip paper, especially colored paper, and it's going to be hard to see on there. Let me grab a piece of paper so I can show you. I know I have a piece of paper around here somewhere. I just wanted to show you guys something real quick. Okay, see how I have this paper here, and it has print on this side and the other side's white. Now, if I tear it like that, see how I can see the white? All right, but you don't see it on this side. So if I'm wanting to keep this part, if I tear away, well, that doesn't, like that, I don't have such a white edge. Not that there's anything wrong with that edge, because you can always distress it. But, and even here, because see how it's an off-white color, I still am going to go this direction just so I don't have a big white spot there. Now I'm kind of going over in some spots, not every spot, the edge where I'm kind of taking some of that off. See that? The other thing you can do is, if I can find it, hold on, it's on the other side of I have a Lazy Susan sitting here that has like my stencil brushes and different things like that on it. And sometimes I have so much stuff, I'm going to say stuff when I should use the word, not word stuff, over here. Sometimes it won't turn because I got so much stuff sitting right there. I have this fun little ruler here that's got ripped edges on it. I can also take this, okay, and I can use it. Now this paper is a little bit thicker than regular paper. See how pretty that it turns out? I like that a little bit better than what I did there. We're not going to change it or anything, but I'm just going to use different sizes of sides of my ruler right here, just to get a little bit different look on each side. But see that? I love that look. I like using this little ruler. Now, before anybody gets mad at me, anything like that, I did get this ruler off of Temu. But you can make a ruler like this if you want to. You could get you one of those El Cheapo plastic rulers, and you just take some side snips and just clip some edges in there and stuff like that. You could possibly crack your ruler, but just be very careful. But I got it off of there. It was like a couple bucks, I think. I thought, oh, you know what? It's metal and stuff, so seems to be working. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to put this about right in here, and we're just going to slap that on there, okay? Now, I'm not going to do my background white. Normally when you do papers, rice papers, napkins, things like that, you want to put white underneath so that your colors really pop a whole lot. I am not going to worry about that. And the reason that I'm not going to worry about it is because this is kind of antique-y looking anyway, and this is a little bit thicker of a piece of paper. So I'm not going to worry about painting it white. We're just going to put this on here. And I'm even kind of thinking I might even just put it on with a glue stick. I'm going to try it. I'm not glue stick to this, these boards like this, but we're going to try it and see what happens. I'm going to pull my little magazine out here. I like to use these magazines you get in the mail to glue on and stuff, because then I can just throw the page away. I don't have to worry about having something sticky hanging out. Now, I like to use this permanent glue stick from Scotch. I buy it off of Amazon. So I like how big and fat it is. It's kind of a wet glue, so it seems to work real well for me. Now, if I was doing rice papers, I probably wouldn't use glue. But since this is just a piece of paper, we're going to try it and see. I don't know why it wouldn't stick. And also, since I printed this off of my printer, and it's not a laser printer, it's a regular inkjet printer, getting it super wet can make it, the colors run. Now look, that's all sticky and gluey. Let me fold that up and throw it in my trash can. My trash can is missing. Boop, there it is. There we go. Toss that in there. All right. So now let's just take our little board here, and I'm going to put it, I want to make sure, time out. I want to make sure that I have room for my word. Okay. But I don't want this sitting all the way at the very, very bottom. Okay, so I'm thinking about right here would probably be good. Okay, I'm going to pull that off of there. Like that. And yeah, it seems to be gluing just perfectly. Just perfectly. So I missed a little corner here, but that's all right. Let's just lift this up a little bit, maybe. Here. The other thing that's kind of nice about it is when you stick it down, if you need to pull it up a little bit, you usually have just a little bit of time to take care of that. Now, I will end up putting a clear coat on this. Now, what I should have done is gone around with my distressing ink and put around the edges. But since we are going to use salt wash, I think we'll be okay, because I'm going to kind of blend the salt wash coming up around my papers and stuff. So you probably really won't even see those edges, but we shall see. We shall see. See, and then I want to put that right up there. I think that's going to be pretty. I love that. Love that. So meanwhile, I'm going to cut this off because I don't want it in the way. And we'll just use something different there. All right, so now let's look at this. What colors of salt wash should we throw in the bag? I know, Miss Melissa. I got this out too, girl, before you got on here. If I have time, I'm going to work on this too. If not, I'll do it next time. But anyway, I'm loving this paper. Look, you guys, look at this little girl's face. Is she not adorable or what? Again, Decoupage Central. It's free, and it's free. All right, so let's look at this. I'm thinking some red, of course. Okay, but I'm also thinking about this blush to put in the background too. It's just kind of a very light ballet type of pink, and maybe some green. Now, I was looking at moss and I was looking at celery, and I'm thinking I want to go with the celery colors. So I think we're going to do 3 colors in the background, and then I think our top, we may use this cashew on. I don't know for sure. If we don't use the cashew, I was trying to see. I don't really have a lot of off-white colors. I do have this antique white. We may end up doing across the top instead of the cashew. Let's just see. Let's just see. Let's get started on our fun 3 colors here. Okay. Now, I need to shake this up. red and light pink. Yeah, I just want a little teeny tiny bit of green. I don't know why. That's what I'm feeling right now. But yeah, I'm thinking the red and the pink especially. So I'm going to shake this up because I haven't used it in a minute. I haven't used this in a minute, so hold on a second, you guys. I need to get it all shook up real good. Now, my paint here that I have in my FIFO bottles, this is from Rust-Oleum chalked paint. I buy it at, that was a lot of paint. I buy it at Menards. They have it at Lowe's. I'm sure Home Depot has it. You can even buy it on Amazon. Then I buy the FIFO bottles and I put it in. I find it a little bit cheaper than buying the, it is chalked paint. It's a little bit thinner than Waverly, but it ends up being a little bit cheaper and easier doing it this way than all the little bottles and stuff. So that's why I do it. They don't have every color, but they do have, they have pink and gray, white. I mainly use the white, but these are excellent if you do a lot of porch cleaners and stuff because you can get a lot of paint. I think it's like, I'm going to say $23 or something like that for a quart, just right around a quart. Yeah, just a little bit of pulling out some of the colors. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of paint or a little bit of chalk paste in there. Now, I have this funky stick that just kind of hangs out here. You saw me with this thing. Okay, these guys just kind of hang out, and I just kind of wipe them off. Because like my FIFO bottles, every once in a while gets a little booger in there. So I run that down in there, and I keep that right over here beside me. Then I have this little crazy stir stick. I just use it until it's yucky, rather than keep getting out more craft sticks and things like that. I just use up what I've got. Now see how this makes this kind of crunchy looking and adds a little bit of texture to it? Makes it a little bit thicker so that we can do some fun things. Now the other day when I used salt wash, I kind of went in a circle and it came out pretty cool because it ended up looking a little bit like roses underneath. So always remember, you can do, you know, you don't have to pat it on. You can wipe it on. You can rub it on. However you want to do it. I kind of think that that's probably good enough. Now, see, I put a whole lot of pink in there, so we may have to add a little extra. But I'm just going to mix that up. Now, I did stick that right back in there with the red. I wiped it off, but see, it didn't bleed into the pink or anything. But if it had done that, I'm okay with that. Because you know me, I don't like to sweat the small stuff. We're supposed to be having fun, so we try not to worry about too many things. Now, I'm going to do I don't know if I'm going to do the green now or not. You guys, I'm always changing my mind. Always change my mind. Give me out a couple chippy brushes. Your brushes can be cleaned off, so it's not like I have to throw these away. I usually wash them when I'm done. I'm going to start with pink, you guys. I'm going to start with pink. Now, I'm just going to kind of put some on here. Okay. Now ideally, see, I have a ton of pink here, so we're going to really have to, probably going to cover another board with this pink because I hate to waste it. But we're just going to kind of go across here. But see how it's putting texture on there? I'm going to go right down over the top of my paper here. Okay. I'm just going to let it touch it just a little bit so it doesn't stop. Now, you don't have to cover the whole thing. You can just do little sections if you want to. You do you on this kind of thing. Okay, and you can also make it a lot thicker than I made it. I made it kind of thin. Right here. Now, I did the light color first because I'm going to put some red over the top. We may end up coming back in over with the pink a little bit. We'll just have to see. I should have put down a puppy pad, but I didn't. I just wash my thing when I'm done. But see that I'm just kind of adding a little bit of texture here. Okay. Now let's go in with the red. Note I'm using the same brush. I'm not getting another. I got another brush out, but I didn't need to. And we're just going to get some red on here too. I'm not going to put a ton, just a little bit on here. Just like this, right here. Okay, and we're going to come right down through here. And anywhere that it looks like your paper might be coming up, because my paper's coming up there a little bit, what I'll do when I clear coat it is I will help push it down a little bit more. And it'll be okay, I promise. Promise, right there. See, it's not sticking down because I got it wet. And I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit of that. I'm going to grab some more pink here. And same thing here. Okay, now I'm just going to go over my printable just a little bit, just because I can. No big deal. But see that? This is pretty just like this. But of course, we're going to, do some more fun things to it. But this is just adding some texture to the background on here. Just kind of want to go up over the sides there. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to save those because when I get off here, I'll put it on another board so that we have a board ready to go. But see, now I could have made it thicker, but I did do it a little bit thinner. But I like the way that this is looking. And then we're going to do the white over the top, and we'll do some stenciling. But we need to let it dry a little bit. So I'm going to run the dryer over this a little. And while we're letting this dry, I'm going to dry it a little bit with my dryer here. And then I'm going to say this, you guys. I used my glue stick. And it's coming up in some spots, which I can fix later. Not a big deal. So I should have just went ahead and used my, not the snow paste. I should have just went ahead and used this stuff. That would be better. That would be better. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. So, but we didn't know. We thought we would try, and we didn't know. So now we know. Now we know for sure. For sure. It's pretty much dry, but we're going to sit this over to the side, okay, because there's a possibility that we're going to work on this, okay? So I'm going to let that dry for a minute before I put my top coat on. Okay, now this paper right here, because it's rice paper and it's a lot thinner, I need to put something on the whole background here, okay, just so it'll pop. The colors will pop. So I kind of want to cover it with white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to sit it over here to the side, and we're going to grab us some white paint, and we're going to get a coat of white paint on this, okay? So this is Snowflake. I think that, yeah, this was pretty much gone, and I meant to throw it away before, and I hadn't done it yet. You guys, my trash bag is in my trash can because it was trash day yesterday. I'm going to put my trash bag on. Hold on a second. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a bunch of trash in my trash can, and I'm going to be mad at myself for doing that. But if I can't get the trash bag open. Sorry. Real life problems here. Always, every live I have a real life problem, don't I? There we go. Okay, that white was almost gone, so I'm just going to grab a different white right here. Okay. And this guy is just white with apple barrel too. Again, trying to use up my stuff. But I'm just going to get a coat of white paint on here so that when we put that rice paper on, it will be nice and so it'll pop. All the colors will pop real pretty. So it doesn't have to be perfect because we will be putting the rice paper on, number one. And number two, we'll be painting around the edges. We may even use that salt wash that we have right there. I may jump right over into this board here too and do it kind of the same as the other, which would be very pretty. That has a little bit of a blue in the rice paper that I would want to add to the background also. But whoops, way too much paint. Don't put enough, then put too much, right? Don't put enough and then put way too much. Way too much. Now see those holes right there? Let's say you were wanting to do this sign horizontal and you needed to cover up those holes. You can just put glue, like from your glue gun, in there in those holes and fill them in, and then just kind of sand them off a little bit, and that would cover the holes up. Now see, I thought I had way too much paint, but apparently not. These boards that are like this, this is like pressed cardboard. They really suck up the paint, so be mindful of that. You need to use more paint than you think. Okay, but what I was saying about this piece of rice paper right here is, see how it has some blues in it? So we would want to add, we would do the red and the pink and some blues to really make that blue pop. So let's go back to this guy here. And I feel like that's not all the way dry there. I'm just going to tap it. And we're just going to run the dryer over it one more time right here. Just like this. Right here. Now I'm going to go over the top. And the reason that I'm going to go over the top is to just kind of calm it down a little bit. I'm not going to use salt wash in my off-white that I'm going to put on the top, but I'm going to kind of do the same thing that I did when I put the salt wash on. So let me grab, right here's my plate. I knew I pulled the plate out. Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and use this antique white right here. It's about empty too. It's about empty too. But I'm going to just take my chippy brush, okay, and I'm just going to kind of do the same thing all over it, but yet let some of the red and the pinks show through. We'll sand it off just a little bit also. Now see, normally I kind of wipe like this, but I'm just kind of doing the same, little bit of the same thing that I did when I put the salt wash on. Okay, now that's just calming down the brightness of the red and stuff, and just making it so that when we stencil over it, it will really show up and pop off of there. Okay. Now what is cool, and I show this because, you know, Melissa does such a fantastic job. Let me show you one of her signs. Now look, I'm just going to kind of go, because I want some of that white to go away around the heart. I'm just kind of touching. I'm not like doing anything crazy or anything like that. But now look at this sign right here I got from Melissa. Okay, she did this with salt wash. Now she put it on, she sanded, she put on, she sanded, she put on, she sanded. But it feels smooth. It doesn't have a ton of texture to the feel, but look at all the texture that looks on it. And that, not beautiful. I leave this sign sit here, Melissa, because I show it a lot of times when I'm doing salt wash, because I want people to see where that's you can see the texture, but you don't feel it a lot. And I would love to show you the board I did the other day with salt wash, but I don't know where it's at. And it had, you could actually not just see it, but you could feel it. So tons of different things that you can do with salt wash, you guys, is the point. Is the point. Okay, my board looks a little crazy right now, doesn't it? A little bit crazy, but we're going to dry this a little bit right here. Just like this. No, I have to let that dry for a minute. I put quite a bit up there. See how my paper's coming up? We're going to have to go through and fix that, which it's fixable, not a problem. No problem at all, especially around the edges. The middle's stuck pretty good, but I'm getting it wet and then adding this heat to it, and that's not helping. So let's go ahead and grab some of my decoupage varnish and glue. And let me grab my little brush here. Okay. Now look, I'm just going to very gently pull it up, and we're going to go right along in here with this stuff. Okay, just to make it stick down again. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much better. There's a little spot there. There we go. Now remember, when you get your paint and stuff wet, it reactivates the pigment in there, and it could, there, that did that. That looks pretty good. Okay, so you can cause your paints and stuff to smear because you got them wet again. Okay, that needs to dry just a little bit more. Hello, Lois. Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think this is going to be cute. Just a cute little Valentine's. It doesn't even have to really be Valentine's. It could be whatever you want it to be. You know, something like this you could leave out all the time. It's beautiful. She's a little fairy. You guys know I love the little fairy things and stuff. So I think she's adorable. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sandpaper, and I'm just going to maybe touch over it just a little bit. See how I can pull some of that red and the pink back up out from the bottom down there? Okay, now ideally you'd want this to dry because it's going to fill up my sandpaper with the red and the pinks and all that kind of stuff. So ideally you'd let this dry an hour or so, and then come back and do it. But we don't have time to do that on a live, right? Okay, but see how we've just added some fun texture to a cheap Dollar Tree sign. Okay, so now let's put our word up here, this amore. Now I'm trying to decide, should we do the amore in black or should we do it in red? What do you guys think? Black or red? Black or red? Black or red? I'm not sure. Maybe let's do it in red and see what it looks like. And if we don't like it, we'll shift it a little bit and have black with it shadowed in red. Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. You think red too? Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like. Let's get some red. You guys, I'm going to cheat here. This has salt wash in it, but I don't think it matters. Now I got way too much on my brush. I'm just going to wipe it over here. Okay. I'm wanting to get that paint up into my stencil brush right there. And here we go. So, I'm just stenciling with the paint that has the salt wash in it. It's extra thick, which is what you like. When you're stenciling, you want thicker paint than thin paint. That always helps with any type of bleed through that you could possibly get or anything like that. So the fact that this is super thick is amazing. I'm going to grab just a little bit more right there. Because it's thick, it's going to dry a little bit quicker and hang in my bristles a lot more. So I'm having to add a little more paint than I would normally have to add. Okay, now it doesn't have to be every single little nook and cranny of my stencil covered. Okay, see, I can see some of the white there, but I can't up there. Okay, I want a little bit more than that though. So I just pulled it up and just looked at it to see what I thought about it. Just like that. Right there. I think that looks pretty cool. Now look, I'm going to take this stencil down here. All right. And I'm going to get me a little piece of cardboard. I'm going to cover up here. And we're going to do this little squiggly down here at the bottom too. Okay. Grab me a little more paint here. Just like that. And do this little squiggly down here also. Just to kind of bring it all in together. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? I think that's turning out very, very pretty. Okay, we'll set that right there. I think that looks awesome. Awesome. But we're not done yet. Now, normally I just use my brushes over and over and over again. But because that paint was so thick with the salt wash, I'm going to go ahead and get it soaking in some water. So when I clean it off, it'll be a little bit easier. We're definitely not done quite yet. I'm going to get my Valspar Antiquing Glaze out. Let's get this dry here. Make sure this is getting dry. And we're just going to kind of go over the whole thing with this Valspar Antiquing Glaze and just antique it up a little bit. But first, I didn't go around my edges like I normally do with a color like the blacks or red or anything like that, because I really want to go around my edges here. Let's do this first. All right. Now, I'm not going to use a lot of this. I'm just going to barely use any of this because I don't want it to overtake, but I just kind of want to dingy this up a little bit. And I am going over paper. Okay. And it's going to grab on that paper a lot more than on your other stuff. Now, see, I'm just kind of wiping it on here. I got quite a bit down here, so I'm just going to fix it by putting more on. I'm just going to kind of wipe it a little. See that? Okay. Now we're just going to, I'm going to go real soft over the paper. I want to grab the textures, but I don't want to make it overbearing. Okay, down here I got it a little dark for me, but that's okay because we'll just make it work. We will definitely make it work. Oh, look, I just put a bunch on there again. That's all right. And I like to go both directions just because I feel like it doesn't look like you just kind of wiped it on there. Now see how I have that spot there? And then down here at the bottom, it's super dark. I'm just going to kind of go and grab and pull down here to kind of blend it up. Okay, and I put a little bit darker spot over there. Now you can take some water, because that's water-based, and lighten that up a little bit. But I think with it looking like that, I think it just makes it adds just a little more of the vintage look to it. Now I don't like how white that is right there. So I'm just going to kind of go over that. And I just kind of went over her, but not a whole lot. And we're just kind of playing here, basically. See that? Isn't that pretty? Oh, I know Miss Wendy. She's part of our Take 5 presenters group, and she has not been feeling well. The icky bickies have been going around her little house, and which totally stinks for Christmas time. Now I'm going to use this. I've never done it before, gone around my edges with this. But I'm thinking that it's doing, and especially since this is like that cardboardy stuff, it's really going to grab a hold of this glaze and darken up my edges. Because you know I like to have my edges a little bit darker than the rest of my board. See, I think that worked pretty good. What do you guys think? See how it darkened up around the edges? I like that. Now I'm not a ribbon person, a bow person. I don't use a lot of bows. I have all the stuff to do bows, but I don't do a lot of bows. So I'll probably just put a piece of jute up at the top and just hang that. Oh no, it's COVID again. That stinks. But didn't that turn out pretty? Now I want to tell you guys something. If you do something like this, and let's say you have a booth or something that you sell your stuff in, you know, you don't want to leave this on here because it just kind of takes away from it. What I like to do is I will take like papers like this, and I will just decoupage it on the back. Because if I try to paint that with all this glitter and all the bumps and all that kind of stuff, I just kind of actually wrinkle this up, so it's all wrinkly, and I will just decoupage it on the back. Sometimes I rip it up and just make the back kind of plain. I might distress it a little bit just to cover that up, because you don't want people to see that. It doesn't look good. Or if you hang it on your front door and you've got a glass window, people are going to see that, and it's like, that's kind of crazy. Unless you like that. Don't do it if you like it. But I really like how that turned out. I think that turned out really cute. You guys, what do you think? What do you think? I think, hello, Liz. I didn't see you pop in. Hello. I really like how that looks. Okay, so we got plenty of time. So let's jump over to this guy right here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get my edges not finished. Not straight. Now, I've never tried this, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to take this. I'm just curious because it's rice paper. Rice paper doesn't rip real easy, but I'm wondering if it would, what it would do with this little edge on here. Well, look right there. It did pretty good, didn't it? It did pretty good. So I kind of don't want to go that direction. I'm going to go this direction. And normally I use the little water pen, but look here, doing something different. Now this is going to keep it more in the shape that it is than if you did your water pen, because you're kind of just, look at that. That's kind of cool. It's going to keep more of the shape because you're holding something that's semi-straight on here. So if you don't want that look, if you want it more all over the place, don't do this. Use your water pen. My water pen's sitting right there. I just thought we'd try this. Just something different. Something different. Right there. Now, the reason I flipped it over is like what I showed you earlier about the direction of ripping of your stuff, so it doesn't show so much white. But again, I think we might end up using this leftover paint I have with the salt wash in there. Just make up a little bit of a blue color, because I think I would want some blue in the backgrounds. Oops. And again, I'm going to use a silly sign from the Dollar Tree. Okay, let's see. So I got a little crazy right there, but that's okay. It's okay once we get it all on there together. There's a lot of white showing here. Just tear that off. No big deal. No biggie. Let's put that up so that I know where it's at. And how about if we just throw it on the ground? Throw it on the table. Just kidding. Let's put that right over there. So I know I love the vintage papers. So this is still on the website. You still can get it. I'm going to put this guy right in the center of this board. And then we're just going to do some fun things going up to it. Like I said with this, and I've got some pink here. And we're going to get some of that blue. Let me look real quick at my blues back here to see. I'm thinking like this blue here. We'll mix up a little bit of that. All right, so now we can use our Decoupage varnish and glue, which we used just a little bit ago. But I think I'm going to use, because this is almost gone, I need to order me some more. I think I'm just going to use my Liquitex and put on here. My nose itches, you guys. We're just going to put some on here. Like this. Spread this out and just use it. I don't know. Use whatever you want to use. Use your Mod Podge. And like I said on my last live, I was looking through some of my baskets and things like that, and I have so much. I always put way too much of this stuff down. I have so much Mod Podge. I have almost every kind of Mod Podge I think there is, probably. I have so much Mod Podge that I need to start using it up. So I'm going to bring it over here by my table, And I'm going to start using it rather than, I've got a paper towel right here, just to get it used up, because I'm going to not use it and it's going to get rotten. Look at all that I wasted, you guys. Wasteful, wasteful. We're just going to wipe it down off to here. And now I went to where my paper's not going to go, okay? But this stuff does dry clear and nice, so it's not like you're going to be able to see it, and we're going to be covering it with salt wash anyway, so it's not going to matter. All right, so don't put so much on like I just did. Craziness. Craziness, craziness. Right, here we go. Just going to put him on here like this. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to wipe some of that paint off. But I'm going to kind of push it out like this on the edges, just to make those, the little, where I tore it, you know, spread out a little bit. Okay. Again, I'm going to take let's do this first. Let's get that down. This is going to get that down into that glue. Just like that. Okay, because with it being paper, you're going to get glue on your hands if you use your hands. So that's why I try to use the chippy brush to help push it down. Okay, and I'm just kind of going over the edge here just to get it, so I'm sure that the sides, the edges are down. I can go over the whole thing. Just do what you got to do. All right, so there we go. Okay, now I'm going to throw this out before I get it everywhere. Lay that right there. Let's move this back over to here. All right, so here we have this beautiful paper on here. And it's crooked. You guys see that? Look how crooked that is. Look how crooked that is. I don't think I can move it, though. It's okay. It's all right. Do-do-do. Sound is better on YouTube. Mine, I might be talking quiet. Am I talking quiet? I think I might be talking quiet. So, here we go. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just take my, we're going to start with the red. Okay, and I'm just going to grab some of this, okay? Not a ton of it. I'm going to kind of take my thing here, and we're just going to kind of, I don't want a bunch of the red because that's more of a burgundy color, but I do want a little bit of red undertones in here. I'm kind of doing the same thing I just did a few minutes ago. Okay, now I'm going to grab a different brush. Okay, and I'm going to grab my pink here. Okay, and we're going to kind of go over with the pink, kind of over the red a little bit here. Kind of a little bit of the same technique, the same but different, you know? Okay, just like that. Now, I need some blue made up. So let's make some blue to really make this blue pop. Now, the only reason I'm using salt wash is because I already had this out, okay? I already did it with the other. Ooh, that was a lot. But you don't have to use salt wash. You can do the same thing with just your paints. And do that kind of a background. Look right there. That's super thick. That's all right. See how it's kind of a baby blue? But we're going to antique all this up, so it's going to be okay. Set that right there. You guys, don't forget to join Take 5. And if you're interested in a subscription group, love it if you join our subscription group. 5-star VIP. You get 4 creators instead of just 1. And we do different crafts constantly in there. Everybody has a different week. So you get to see all different kinds of things. Now I'm going to kind of go along here with my hairdryer at the same time. just helping it get a little bit drier quicker. Okay, now this looks like a hot mess right now, but again, we'll get it all blended together and it'll be perfect. Perfect. And like I said, what I like to do with my leftover is I've used the board up that I had, but I had a board over here that I was just putting it on, and then eventually I put a stencil something on it. But I don't have that here. I actually took it over to my booth, so I don't waste it. I'll use up what we have here. Okay. And look at that. Now I will show you something that we could do here. Instead of going over it with the dry paint, I could take, hold on now, let's let this dry a little bit. I could take some of my off-white, and if I do that, how about if I throw that on the ground, and we could texture this up too, instead of just going, huh, it's crazy, Wendy. That sound would be different from one platform to the other. Now, you guys, I've had this paint. It's super thick already. It's coming. Not very quickly, though. So I'm just going to, oh, yeah, that stuff is super thick. Might have to add a little water to that. Okay, I just want a little bit down in this cup. That is thick. Probably ought to toss that, but you know. But you know. Okay. I'm going to put that on here. Look at that. Man, that's like almost like paste. It's almost like a paste color. Oh, and I'm getting it everywhere. Well, let's set that there. I'll clean it off here in a minute. This is distilled water in this little jar, this squirt bottle. I'll thin that up just a little bit, because even though I'm adding salt wash to it, that's pretty darn thick there, you guys. It's a little too thick. Might have made it a little too thin now, but we'll add the salt wash to thicken it up, okay? So use the stuff you got, right? Use up what you got. Let's add a little salt wash to that. Right there. Now, if anybody wants to know how much salt wash, you just add it till you like the texture. You know, if like, see, that's super thick compared to the others that I did. I can add more. Normally I would add more paint, but on this instance, because that paint is so thick, I'm going to just add a little water to that to kind of thin that up a little bit, because I got it a little too thick. Craziness. Craziness. I don't know if this is going to do or not. This is super duper thick, you guys. Look at that. Now, something else you can do is you can take like see, I can take this thing and I could do it with this. I could do, see what I mean? To just put a different type of texture on there if I wanted to. You could take one of your craft sticks and make a design on there with your stuff. Just do whatever you want to do. Now, this is crazy. I'm going to take and get me a new brush here. And let's see if we can pick some of that up off of there. It's that paint. That paint is just, it's just too much. I'm going to need to toss that. And I'm just going to kind of, it's just too thick. And the water's really not helping it. You see that? Let's try something else. Let's try this. Okay, now see how thick that is? Don't know that I like that look either. Well, something a little different, but it's almost like paste. Look at that, you guys. Do you see that? Look how thick that is. It's almost like putty. not digging that. Let's just kind of scrape this a little bit. That's a little bit of a different look, isn't it? Just kind of like this. See that? I'm not going to do it everywhere. Let's just do it in a few spots. See? Why not? Oh, we only got about 5 minutes, you guys. I didn't realize it gotten so late. So anyway, make sure you guys join Take 5, where you can follow along on Wednesdays and Fridays with us. Plus, you can check it out through the week because all of our presenters are constantly sharing fun things in there, whether it be live, pictures, all that kind of fun stuff. We want you to remember to take 5, especially during this holiday season. It's a hectic time of year, and sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves, and we need to take a couple minutes, a little bit of time, and take 5 for yourself. It's okay. You're allowed to. We're giving you permission to take 5 and relax and take a minute for yourself, you know? And just remember, Christmas is just another day, all right? Christmas is a special day, but we don't worry if we don't get all the things we wanted to do. Get all the things done we wanted to do, buy all the presents that we wanted to buy, because remember what we're really supposed to be celebrating, and it's not necessarily the amount of presents that we get for our families or our friends or things like that. So just remember that the reason that we're celebrating Christmas, and don't stress. There's no stressing involved. You guys, I can smell my granddaughter has started making those freshies things, and all of a sudden I was like, what does that smell? And it's her. I think she's baking some downstairs. It's too funny because it's super duper strong when you're baking them. But anyway, so I'm just kind of putting this on here, and remember Miss Mary is up after me with the painted peach. Make sure you go check her out when I'm done. If you're following along in the group, she will be shared into the group momentarily, and you can just keep watching from in there. We love it if you do that. Or you can go to the individual pages. We're all about helping promote each other. Look, this is like a happy little surprise here. Look how this turned out. Look at all that fun texture. Okay, now I'm not done though. I know we're running out of time. We've got like 2 minutes. I'm going to take this blue here. I just want a little bit. I'm just going to kind of, and I'll let this dry, and I'm going to put some, I'm touching everywhere, you guys. I'm going to put some, the antique wax over the top and kind of, you know, make it a little bit, what do you want to say? What do I want to say? Dingied up a little bit. Okay, now see, I just want to touch just a little bit here with the red right here, just like this. Now I'm just barely going to touch across here with the red. Not a whole lot, just so it kind of blends together. Just playing, you guys. If you follow me, you know I love to play with backgrounds and with my with stuff. I just like to play with it. I still kind of want to add some off-white over the top, maybe a little, I don't know, we'll see. And let's just kind of go across here, just a little bit like this, just to kind of blend it in together right there. And look at that. And like I said, we will put some antique wax over the top of that. And we also did this board right here, you guys. Now this is a free printable on Decoupage Central. The link is in my description. Go check that out. This is a piece of rice paper that you can order from her, and it is still available. Watch out for what's being released on the 27th of December. I will be sharing sneak peeks off and on over the next couple days as best I can with all the holiday things going on. So hello Terry from Terry Crafty's Friends. You guys, go check out Mary over at the Painted Peach. Y'all have a great day, and Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then. Bye-bye.